without end in the East. Japan and China have been locked in conflict since 1894, and 1933 sees Japanese Emperor Hirohito exhorting his troops to even greater inroads into China. Manchuria fell the year previous, the border province of Rahul was conquered the year before that, and now the heart of China is threatened. As Jap troops cross the frozen Huangho River in preparation for attack on the Great Wall of China, armed aggression that conquered Korea in 1910 is meeting with little resistance here, although Chinese armies are concentrating on defense behind the Great Wall. The scenes you are watching were filmed under actual fire, with the relentless onward march of the Japanese sweeping everything before it. So rapid is the advance that the troops are in danger of bombing from their own planes. As token defenses fall back before the onslaught, Kwantung Army troops are ready for the key struggle against the strategic Great Wall. The breakthrough will be attempted north of Beiping, and in 1935, despite heroic Chinese sacrifices, they broke through. Beiping, Tientsin, Hebei, and Yahar were overrun. Jap-controlled officials replaced former city dignitaries, but the Chinese fight on. Defenses crumble, however, as the might of Japan's mortars take severe toll of defenders. As Henry Puyai, Jap-controlled Manchurian emperor, sees his country being conquered, the League of Nations goes into session to officially censure Japanese attacks. Action by the League resulted in the resignation of Japan, with explanation coming from Japanese Prime Minister Yatsuki Matsuoka.
If Japan decides to leave the League, it will not, let me assure you, mean that she departs upon a course opposed to that of the League. Japan will continue in her fight against chaos and in her effort to recover peace in the Far East.
In 1937, after a comparative lull in actual combat, Shanghai is threatened. Soon this tremendous seaport is to fall to Japanese armies. Japanese Marines go into action against disorganized defenders and attempt to blast resistance by suicide Chinese infantrymen. Results of the encounter are foregone, but the invading horde finds complete conquest difficult as patriotism and heroism join hands to combat superior armament. Planes bomb the city, fires break out, and civilians flee to shelter. Shanghai is doomed. Panic seizes the population. Fear drives thousands in a desperate move to the safety of the international settlement. As the populace leaves reason behind in its mad lunge to live, police are called to maintain a semblance of order and prevent women and children from being trampled to death. The exodus of non-combatants is spurred on across the international settlement bridge by Japanese bombing planes, which donate to despair by direct hits on the heart of the city. Still, the Chinese defenders continue to fight. Disorganized groups battle on. Bombing planes are plagued by individual anti-aircraft guns. Shanghai is a shambles as organized resistance ends. Those who can move flee, the helpless remain. Now Japanese troops set out after snipers. The Marines are mopping up. Shanghai has joined the provinces and cities overrun by the hordes of Hirohito. Soon there will be no resistance. Soon no shots fired from rooftops at the victorious Japs, for the thorough invaders are seeking out last stand snipers, and a smitten city will stand by in silence. Shanghai has fallen, but China has not. Chiang Kai-shek calls for greater effort by his troops. Although tension in the East is eased by World War II, ultimate fate of China is still a mystery.